Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of videos. Today I wanted to begin my journey on training up to play into the British Chess Championships. I have been doing a lot of training recently. I've been doing loads of tactics puzzles, playing classical games online, and also doing my correspondence chess as well. So today in this video we're going to be just focusing on tactics. We're going to do a few tactics puzzles. You guys can play along. Hopefully you won't get too frustrated watching these tactics that I'm going to be doing today, and hopefully it won't be too obvious some of the moves that I needed to play. So my rating at the moment is 1900. I'm going to do about 10 tactics or so, and that'll be kind of it for the day. I'll probably end up doing a little bit on my phone though later on, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, so number one, let's have a look. So first thing I've noticed is this pawn I could just push forward. He can't stop that. The potential problem is he can play rook, king to b8 if I don't play pawn. Now, has he got any nasty checks at all? He's got his queen, but that's about it. So I think this has got to be the right move. So he's going to throw in that check, capture. That's the puzzle over. Nice and easy, that one. Okay. So the first thing I notice is this knight is pinned. This pawn is pinned, to the bishop. But the only potential problem is if I take that straight away, this then exposes me to mate m1. Well, I can move the king here, but then he goes. So that's definitely not good. Now, potentially I could also play just knight here. That protects the pawn. It attacks the bishop. It's not a terrible idea. So I win a pawn. I'm actually down a pawn here, aren't I, in this position? So is there anything a bit better than that? So potentially, right, so I can capture this pawn, so that protects the square. I've still got that threat of capturing this knight. So he'll move his queen back, potentially. Or maybe move his queen here. He can't do that, the knight just captures. So we go queen to e2. I can then just capture the knight. No bother. So I think that's the right move. Okay, there we go. So I just want to double check that just to make sure that my thought process is right. I think it's always important. Sometimes I think maybe of yourself, you just go straight for the next puzzle. You go, oh, that's right. Yeah, don't need to look at it. But actually, see, it's not super winning, and I didn't think it would be super winning. But let's have a look. So this is interesting, because actually there's a suggestion here of queen to g3, which is actually quite a nice move. So the potential threat here, of course, is just taking the rook here. So if he goes queen to g3, I mean, I think maybe if I played knight to g6 here, just having a look what the computer's. I mean, the computer's just saying just capture the bishop. Maybe, I mean, it seems so risky. Let's have a look. So now this knight is protected. But that's quite a good move. Queen here. Yeah, it's a very good move. Very good move. So that just holds everything. That's quite interesting. Okay, so we'll go to the next puzzle then. Don't want to spend too long on that. Right, so at the moment the queen is ready to do checkmate on this square. So our first thought process is how do we block the mate? So I think the best move here is pawn to g6. That's the first move. I mean, that's the first candidate move, and then rook to e8, which I don't particularly like, because then he just comes here, check, comes down, and then the king ends up sort of all over on e7. He's also got bishop here as well, so that's no good. So I think I've got to play g6. I just now want to see what the follow-up move here is to that. So So I can play knight here. So that forks both the bishop and the queen. Yeah, I don't see anything better than that really, and actually when I take the bishop it comes with check, and I'll also be double attacking. Yeah, it just seems like the right move. Okay, so I'll be capturing then, and then I win quite a bit here, because after he kicks back I then just take with the queen. So that's quite a nice puzzle. That's interesting. I'm quite surprised it's so high rated in this one. I've got quite a lot of rating points of that, but I don't think it was... I mean, that g6 is kind of forced really. I could play... I'll just go into my thought process for a moment just so you can kind of see a bit clearly what I was thinking. But I mean, I can't see how rook to e8 is any good. He throws a check in, and then surely this would kill me. And how do I block that? So c5 is an option. Yeah, I mean maybe this is okay actually, but even then it's still showing an advantage for white. I think definitely the best move here has got to be g6. Oops, go back. Just g6. That's got to be the best move. But I wouldn't have said queen to e4 was any good. But interestingly enough, it's saying queen to f6 takes is one of the best moves here. I don't think he's got anything better because he's got this problem with the threat of once I move this knight away, this uncovers a discovered threat on the queen. This is falling. There's a lot of problems for white here. So yeah, I think that's quite a nice puzzle. I think maybe if I saw that the fact that the queen had nowhere to go after g6, but even then, I mean, it just kind of played itself, that puzzle. Okay, so he's just played rook here. Now I could just take. So I think the important thing to note with black is he has got very little material. So it'd be dangerous to start exchanging off too much. I'm just trying to think which rook would be better to take. So I take with this rook. So he only has one move to protect him, that's queen here. Queen to g1. So that blocks the check. I can then capture with the bishop. He has to take with the king. Now what I'm trying to sort of work out, so I don't want to end up in a position where I've got two bishops versus a rook. I think I can do better than that. This is a tough one. This is a very tough one. So actually no, if I take with this rook, right, so queen comes back, I can then capture with the bishop. King takes, and then I capture. Right, that's the way to do it. Okay. So I think I've solved it. Oh, okay, so that's wrong. Ah, okay. No, I see what the next move is. That was silly of me. So of course it's pinned. So I could just capture the rook. I was thinking completely elsewhere, so I'll just show you very quickly for some of you. So I can just capture here. Just wins immediately. Mate in one. So there you go. That was a little silly mistake there, but we'll go to the next one. Learn from that one. Okay, so first thing I've noticed, so this bishop is now attacking this this queen and rook. They're skewered, so I've got to potentially block this somehow, but then come up maybe with a counter threat. So the first move I'm thinking of is f6, just pushing the bishop away. But the problem with that move is it blocks this bishop in. This bishop just goes back, and I don't see anything else really. Bishop to f6 as well. There's got to be a little trick to this puzzle somewhere. Got to look. Ah, right. Okay, I think I've spotted it. So there's the king is actually sort of slightly exposed over here. So I can play queen here with check. He goes here. I can capture the bishop. And then he captured the rook. I take back with my rook. So I'm still up in the exchange. But is that as good as is that as good as it gets? I don't know. Perhaps I play the pawn first. So that kicks the bishop away, but then he can come back to e3 and the threat's gone. I mean, I think it's the best move, but I'm just struggling to see. So again, I get a similar problem if I go here and then play. It just comes back to no, can he though? Right, so check comes here. Push that pawn forward. Bishop has to run, and I've got a threat on both the two bishops, haven't I? So I think that's the first move. Okay, so he's played queen there, which does put a bit of a stymie on my plans a little bit. So I think I've just got to take the bishop, haven't I? Take the bishop. He takes the rook, I take the bishop. I'm still up the exchange. And I've got this pawn. Keep the queens on. So if I take here, the bishop takes back. I mean, there's nothing. I just win a pawn back. I don't know. So it is the right move. It's a tough little puzzle, that one, because you kind of have to say to yourself, are you happy with that exchange? Because you're not super far ahead. Like, I like puzzles where you want to be getting at least sort of quite a bit of material back. Stuff like that, I'm kind of thinking to myself, no, it wasn't. I mean, I'm only up a pawn. I'm surprised how low rated this one is. I think it was quite a tough one to solve. But I just want to kind of see here. So queen there. There's no other moves really. I mean, I can't. Let's have a look. I mean, if I played this, no, if I captured. So it's saying it's equal if I capture. So I capture bishop here. So that's quite an annoying move. So that kind of locks my bishop in. So maybe that's the concession that white has here in this position. You're saying bishop takes. Wow. That's an interesting move. I capture here. Ah, I see. Okay, so he's got this little threat here as well. So that is interesting. Okay, so that I didn't see. But it's worth just having a look at those sort of variations sometimes. Okay, cool. Right, next puzzle. So this rook over here, so this queen over here is a little exposed. Now I am just thinking actually just to simply play castles long. There's one candidate move. Sorry, just yawning there for a bit. Castle's long. Not sure I can really see a good follow-up to that though. You could just play rook to d1 if you wanted to. I could play bishop here. But I feel like there's better moves than just bishop to. I feel like there's check. This is the problem sometimes with these sort of puzzles, because you can sort of see, okay, the king in this position, the king's really exposed, and I feel like there should be a checkmate here somewhere. This is sometimes what kind of frustrates me a bit with chess.com puzzles from time to time. It looks like it's clearly winning, or there's a clear checkmate, and I just can't see it. But actually, it turns out it's like you just need to capture a piece or something ridiculous. So. I don't see anything wrong with bishop to f5. I think that's a nice move. I mean, it's the right move, but I'm not happy with stuff like that because I think it's a bit cheap. It's not cheap, but it's sort of one of those puzzles where I'm not quite happy with the outcome. I feel like there could have been a checkmate, but that was the best move in that sort of situation. Okay, so king just takes. Now what? Now what? So there's got to be a checkmate somewhere, and I think I can see it. F5. I think just mates straight away. Yeah, F5. There we go. Mates. Mate and 1. So the obvious mistake that some of you might have made, you might have thought just bishop takes queen. It looked tempting. To be fair, it did look very tempting. But actually, I think after that, he's still down in exchange. So yeah, F5. That's a nice move. Okay, so this will be the last one then I'll do for today. Hopefully this will be a hard one to end off with. Okay. So the first thing I've noticed is that black's position looks quite tight here. I don't think I can find a way to break through. I could play knight takes, king takes, and then queen there. But after king to g8, I can't really see a good follow-up. In fact, I don't think there's a good follow-up. It seems like quite a tight structure that black has, but I'm just trying to find a way that I can break through. Just have a look at sort of the hanging pieces in the position. What are the imbalances? That I'm finding a little bit hard to see. I mean, this bishop here is hanging. That's your potential target that I could focus on. But I can't see a way to exploit the fact that it's hanging. Right, okay, I might have found the solution. I've just seen a good move. What about just queen to h5 is quite strong. So he has to play the move h6 to block it. So that holds, actually that holds quite a lot of things. I think that looks quite good. So after h6 I can then play bishop takes. You obviously can't take the knight because there's a checkmate on 1, so he has to take this way. After that I can take with my queen, and then there's a checkmate in 1. Well, there's a very powerful checkmate coming next. Alright, I think I quite like that move, so let's try it. So that's been played. Bishop takes. No, that isn't the right move. Okay, let me just go back a moment. So knight takes bishop is very good. That's probably a lot better. Because I don't think my solution is a mating pattern. So let's go to the analysis board just for a moment. I'm going to just ignore the computer analysis for a moment. So queen here. I'm just going to go through what I saw. So now it's black to move. So here, yeah, it's a very good move. Now that I didn't see. Because the pawn, alright, so my thought process, because the pawn wasn't there on f7, I thought if their bishop ever came here I could just take. But now it's no longer here. This rook holds the square. So this attack doesn't work anymore. So he does that. That just holds everything. I then have to move my queen somewhere like here, and he just takes here. And yeah, that is completely winning. Completely winning for black. So the best move here. After this, I think it's got to be this, isn't it? Surely. So that's a very strong move. So that's forking everything. So he has to take here, and after that I can... Ooh, which is better? Queen takes. It's got to be queen takes, surely. So that threatens mates. So he has to do that. And yeah, why not? I think I can chuck in that cheeky check. So king to f7. So I'm just kind of looking through further here. But actually this is completely winning now at this point. I would imagine the puzzle would probably stop at that point. Alright, so that was a good little session there, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll speak to you soon. Peace.